Hello mathematicians, this video is to talk about adding large whole numbers. This is a review from 4th grade, but it covers a portion of our standards for 5th grade, which states that students will be able to add and subtract positive rational numbers fluently. In this video, we're going to focus specifically on adding positive rational numbers, and especially whole numbers. Let's look at the image on this slide. The image shows us a chart, and on the chart we have 3 countries listed: the United States, Japan, and Germany. And for each of those countries, we're told the number of motor vehicles produced in 1 year. The question that we're being asked is, what was the total number of motor vehicles made in the United States and Japan in 1 year? So we're wanting to know just the ones from the United States and Japan. To find out those two combined or all together, we want to add the two numbers together. So we are going to be adding the numbers for the United States and Japan. When we add numbers, we want to make sure that we line the numbers up by place value. So let's do that now. All right, in the United States, they produced 11,989,387 vehicles, and in Japan, they produced 10,511,518 vehicles. You can see that I have lined the numbers up so that the ones place is over the ones place, the tens place is over the tens place, and so forth. All my numbers are in nice, neat columns. Now we're going to begin by adding on the right side the ones place and then add each column. We're going to regroup as needed. So let's look at our ones place. The right side, we're going to start with the ones column. We need to add 7 plus 8. 7 plus 8 gives me 15. I can't put 15 in the ones place because I can only put one digit there. That means that I'm going to have to regroup. So I'm going to leave the 5 in the ones place and carry the 1 or regroup by placing the 1 on top of the tens column. Now I'm going to continue by moving a column to the left. I need to add the digits that are in the tens column, and I have to be sure that I get the 1 that I regrouped or that I carried. So that means I'm going to do 1 plus 8 plus 1 more. 1 and 8 gives me 9, and 1 more gives me 10. Again, I can't put a 10. I can only put one digit, so I'm going to put the 1 or the 0 and carry the 1 to the next place value. I'm going to continue adding each column until I finish the problem. Now I'm going to add 1 plus 3 plus 5. That gives me 9. Now I can move to the next column. 9 plus 1 gives me 10. Since I can't put 10, I'm going to put the 0 and carry the 1. 1 plus 8 gives me 9, plus 1 more gives me 10. Again, I've got to place the 0, carry the 1. 1 plus 9 gives me 10, and 5 more gives me 15. I'm going to put the 5 and carry the 1. 1 plus 1 gives me 2. 1 plus 1 gives me 2, and I've completed the problem. My sum, or the answer to my problem, is 22,500,905. Let's look at a couple more problems. This next one already has my digits lined up in columns with the ones over the ones and so forth. You'll notice that in one place there's a number missing over another number. Right there, we're missing a digit. If we're missing a digit in a problem, we can insert a 0 if it confuses us. So I could simply write a 0. Now I'm going to add, beginning on the right side and moving towards the left at each column. I have 1 plus 8, which gives me 9. No need to regroup there. 4 plus 1 gives me 5. 7 plus 0 gives me 7. 5 plus 1 gives me 6. And nothing plus 3 gives me 3. So my answer to this particular problem is 36,759. But look at the next problem. On the next problem, our numbers are written, or our problem is written in a horizontal fashion. We need to line our numbers up vertically in columns like we saw in the previous problems. I want you to pause the video and do that now. See if you line them up the way I do. Does your problem look like mine? Notice how my ones column, my tens column, my hundreds column, my digits are lined up so that each one is on top of the other in the other number. All right, so now we're going to start on the right side and add each column. Can you do that on your own and see if you get the same thing I do? Let's give it a try. I added 9 plus 4 and got 13. I had to regroup and carry the 1. 6 and 1 gives me 7, and I know 7 and 7 is 14. I had to regroup again and carry the 1. 4 and 1 gives me 5, and 5 plus 3 gives me 8. There's no regrouping necessary there. 7 plus 8 is 15. Since there's nowhere to carry the 1, I simply place it in front of the 5 in the problem. And I'm done and have my answer, 15,843. Did you get the same thing? Most of the time in real life, we're not given numbers to add. We have a situation in which we have to solve a problem, and we have to know what numbers to add, and even do we need to add or do we need to do something else. So let's look at this real-world situation. Myronville School District has 12,081 students, and Saddleton School District has 45,035 students. We need to know how many students do the two school districts have all together. So let's analyze this problem. First off, I see two numbers that look like they're important, 12,081 and 45,035. I'm going to circle those two numbers because I know I'm going to need them to solve my problem. There's a question in this problem that's also important. How many students do the two school districts have all together? Now, there are a couple words there that tell me something very important. I know that I want to find out how many students there are all together. And when I hear those words all together, that makes me think of the word combined. Combined. Combined, all together, in all, total, those all are words that tell me I need to add. So I know now that I need to add the two numbers that I've been given. What is step 1 when I need to add? Step 1 is I need to line all of my numbers up so that the place values are in perfect columns. So I'm going to start by writing 12,081. And then my next number I want to line up so that the ones and tens and everything are in the same columns as the previous number, 45,035. What do I do now? Awesome. I need to start by adding the first column that's on the right side of the problem. So I'm going to add 1 plus 5, and that gives me 6. Then I'll move to the next column. 8 plus 3 gives me 11. I can't put 11, so I've got to regroup and carry my 1. 1 plus 0 plus 0, that's easy, that's just 1. Now I can do 2 plus 5, which gives me 7, and 1 plus 4, which gives me 5. So my final answer is 57,116 students in the school districts altogether. Now you're ready to try a couple of these on your own. Let's look at the first problem. You'll see that the numbers are already properly lined up in columns. All you need to do is add. Go ahead and pause the video now, add it up, and see if you can get the same thing I get. All right, did you get the same thing I got? My answer was 17,411. I hope that you did. Now let's look at the next problem. These numbers are not lined up properly for us to do our addition problem. So the first thing we're going to have to do is line them up, and then we can add them. Try that now on your own and see if you get the same thing I get. All right. I got 861,361. Is that what you got? Did you remember to line your numbers up so that they all matched in each of the columns by place value? I hope that you did. This concludes our review on adding large whole numbers. Now you're going to go to your Google Classroom and find the assignment titled U1L1 Independent Practice. It will have a Google slide that looks like this. Please follow the directions carefully to complete the independent practice. Thank you and see you next time.